New this morning, a deadly shooting in Grosse Pointe Woods. One man is dead. Another person is in custody. What else? We've learned that is coming up. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Amy. We are live outside the Ford, Michigan assembly plant here in Wayne, where workers have now been walking the picket line for 22 days in this historic strike against the Big Three. We're now 3 hours away from another Facebook Live update on how those talks are going. We'll have the very latest on that in my live report. Good morning, Brandon.
Hey, Robin, good morning. It has been more than 50 years since the devastating rebellion of the 1967 in the city of Detroit. And this morning, we're looking back at how the unrest was uncovered by Channel 2 as we continue to mark the station's 75th anniversary.
Working for you. Fox 2 News Live at 11 starts now.
Good morning, and thanks for being with us on this Friday. I'm Amy Lange.
And I'm Brandon Hudson. Fox 2 continues to follow a developing situation in Grosse Pointe Woods.
As we've been reporting, police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened overnight at a home on Bryce Drive. That's near Mack Avenue and 8 Mile. Police say an adult male was shot at the house and later died at the hospital. One person is in custody. So far, police have not released any other information involving the exact circumstances of that shooting. But stay with Fox 2 for further details as they become available.
And also this morning, 3 people are hurt seriously when a driver slams a car into a fallen tree. This was the scene overnight on Seymour Street on Detroit's east side. Police say that the tree fell across the road around 9 p.m. A few hours later, a driver slammed into it. 1 man, 2 women were in that car. They went to the hospital. They're in critical condition. Meanwhile, DPD has asked the city to come in and remove that tree. In other news now, other major news, we are standing by for a new announcement from UAW President Shawn Fain.
Yes, he is coming up soon.
Yes.
It's scheduled to happen on Facebook this afternoon at 2 o'clock. It comes as the UAW strike enters its 22nd day. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch live this morning with more from Wayne. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Amy and Brandon. Yeah, we're now about 3 hours away from another Facebook Live update from UAW President Shawn Fain. As you guys know, during some of his previous ones, he did call on more facilities to stand up and strike. Will that be the case today? Only time will tell. But the workers behind me, they are certainly ready for the long haul.
It's solidarity no matter what. We're one no matter what at the end of the day.
Rain or shine, these UAW workers are willing to walk the line as long as it takes to get their fair share, or what's been described as record profits for the Big Three. UAW President Shawn Fain will give his weekly Facebook Live update on the state of contract talks in just a few hours and could possibly announce the next targets in his stand-up and strike strategy.
If we see this continue in the manner it has already started in, we expect that over 60% of suppliers will have some form of layoffs occur by mid-October.
That is according to MEMA, the Motor and Equipment Manufacturers Association, which currently represents about 1,000 companies connected to the auto industry. So far, the 22-day strike has already resulted in 3,500 workers getting pink slips at Ford, Stellantis, and General Motors, and has cost an estimated $4 billion and climbing.
The union's been surgical in which plants they're striking, but there's a lot of high-profit vehicles that are still out there, like the pickup trucks. For the most part, those plants have been spared, and other really high-volume sport utilities that have been spared so far. But further escalation, yeah, these companies are really going to feel it.
Last-minute maneuvers by Stellantis a week ago spared it from additional strike sites. Instead, the UAW focused on Ford's Chicago assembly plant and GM's Delta Township plant near Lansing, bringing the number of striking facilities to 43 in 20-plus states. Ford this week did provide a new offer to union membership, while GM presented its 6th contract. It also secured $6 billion in credit should this historic effort linger, something workers are ready for.
The unions have a role to play to try to improve the inequality in our country.
And this is a live look at the strike effort happening outside the Ford, Michigan assembly plant here in Wayne, where, as you know, workers, they have been out here since the very beginning. They're among the first 3 sites to strike as part of this historic effort. As you know, yesterday they dealt with downpours. Today, as well as throughout the weekend, they're expected to see some dipping temperatures. But you know what? They remain positive out here, and they remain determined to get what is owed to them. Again, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, UAW President Shawn Fain is expected to take to Facebook Live once again to update us on how the strike is going. Of course, you can watch that announcement live on Fox 2 News, or you can see it online at fox2detroit.com. For now, we are live outside the Ford, Michigan assembly plant. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Well, Robin, we saw during that interview in your story about just how strategic they've been about which plants they're striking and how much deeper this could go with some really important plants that could be out should Shawn Fain call for it.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking to some of the workers this morning, and they all kind of have their thoughts on which plants could go next. A lot of them do believe that perhaps some of these plants that make pickup trucks, the very profitable and popular pickup trucks, are going to be the next to go on strike if that is exactly what Shawn Fain decides to do at 2 o'clock today. A lot of people, of course, just waiting to see what his next move will be. Back to you.
Absolutely. All right, Robin Murdoch, as always, we appreciate you. Thanks for all of your hard work out there on this strike. Appreciate it. Brandon.
Blaming Detroit teenagers in the hospital this morning after an apparent accidental shooting. This happened at a home on Russell Street near Nevada and I-75 on the city's east side. DPD says the 16-year-old was playing with a gun and accidentally shot himself. He was last listed in temporary serious condition. A Detroit father is formally charged in connection to the shooting of his 8-year-old son. 27-year-old Kayvon Barrett is facing 4 counts of second-degree child abuse. Police say the little boy found the gun at his home on Snowden Street and accidentally shot himself in the head. At last check, he is listed in extremely critical condition. 3 other children were inside the house at the time of the shooting. They were not hurt.
And Inkster police need your help tracking down this man. He has not been seen in days, and on Wednesday night, his roommate was found stabbed to death. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack with a closer look.
Saw that guy in almost 2 weeks. His vehicle never was moved. His trash never was put out.
The house off Meadow Lane in Inkster has been quiet. That's because the man who lives there was dead inside his garage, murdered, stabbed to death.
So something was wrong, I thought.
This neighbor was right. Inkster police found the man's body Wednesday night after a well-being check.
Right now, investigators are trying to determine a motive for this crime and locate an individual that is a person of interest.
It wasn't long after investigators developed a suspect. This man, 40-year-old Yanko Romero. He apparently lived with the victim in Inkster off Meadow Lane between Middle Belt and Henry Ruff, and down in Florida, Fort Myers.
It appears that they both came here from Florida and went back and forth quite often.
Inkster Police Chief Bill Ratliff says the investigation leads them to believe he's no longer in the Inkster area, which is why he's putting the call out for help. Other clues are coming out too. Last week, Romero had contact with Inkster police and fire, then a hospital visit for an injury.
At that time, appeared to be a standalone incident with police who didn't realize that there were any other issues going on.
But now the context of that hospital visit and injury looks different. Neighbors shared with us Thursday that last week one of their windows was broken and this bloody knife was found on that person's porch after the windows were busted out. The chief is stressing the importance of getting Yanko Romero into custody.
We ask that you do not approach this individual, do not contact him, leave that up to law enforcement.
Now, police are not releasing the victim's name yet. They're working on identifying the victim's next of kin. Remember, there is that Florida connection to Fort Myers. Police have put fellow officers on alert down there to be on the lookout.
There's a wild scene unfolding at Northwestern High School in Detroit. So cell phone video captures this brawl, which happened Wednesday It started with students, and then a security guard got involved, putting one of the students in the chokehold. Now, that guard was taken into police custody. The mother of that student is demanding action from the district.
I'm just terrified, and I just feel like DPS needs to do better. These kids go out through the education. We don't know what's going to happen to them or not, but we expect the educators and the professionals like security guards and police officers to protect them, not be against them. I just want kids that feel safe when they go to school, you know? So I just feel like prosecution needs to happen, more training, and just to bring awareness, because I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
It's a simple ask there, and the district released a statement to Fox 2 acknowledging the video and telling us that the guard will not be returning to the school and has been placed on administrative leave pending an internal investigation to determine if he, the guard, should be fired.